Up first tonight, we are continuing to follow that decision to pull Knoxville Police, or decision of the Knoxville Police Department to pull out of the agreement that puts them in Knox County Schools after June 12th. The police chief tells us it was a joint decision with the city's mayor.
Well, WATE 6 on your side reporter Kirsty Crawford has been following this all day today. She joins us now outside of KPD's headquarters. So, Kirsty, what do school board members say about all of this?
Well, city leaders made this decision right before the school board was going to talk about policing on campus. One board member tells me the board's intent was to not pull out police officers. However, the other board member I spoke with says taking out the current officers allows for policing changes to be made a little more easily. Even before the recent gun violence at Austin East this year, school board members say policing in schools had been top of mind.
That has been the #1 concern for a lot of community members, is how do we interact with law enforcement within our schools?
The district entered into a memorandum with local law enforcement back in 1999, when board member Daniel Watson says times were a little different.
We go back to those events of Columbine and Sandy Hook. I mean, those were national, devastating events that every community across America reacted to. And I don't fault Knox County for making swift adjustments in that period of time.
But fast forward 20 years, that memorandum of agreement is still in place, and he says much has changed. Staffing is one of those differences.
Under Chief Gus Paducas, when he became chief of School Security Division, he started with 30 armed officers. He now has 105 positions. That's a tremendous increase, and our numbers have continued to dwindle.
The two board members offered up a resolution, hoping to get the community's input about what they want to see.
As of right now, we don't know what the community wants when it comes to interaction with law enforcement, because we haven't made a decision.
But that didn't stop city leaders from making the call to end the MOA on June 12th, effectively taking KPD officers away. Satterfield feels as though it was too soon. Watson sees it differently.
I think this was a way to provide support to say, hey, we all want to be back at the drawing board.
He says the discussions about policing in schools is going to be tough, but it's worth it for the kids. MOA or no MOA, he says it just forces them to make changes faster.
I think we're capable of doing it, but we have to act on it now and get those dates in place to get the community input and find that facilitator that can facilitate the conversation.
Now, those board members say when they start those conversations, they really need parents to voice their opinions about policing in schools. So they really need to hear from you. Reporting live at KPD headquarters, Kirsty Crawford, WATE 6 on your side.
All right, Kirsty, thank you. Now, this week's developments may have you wondering just how many KPD officers are in Knox County Schools.
We wondered too. A KCS spokesperson tells us the answer is 14. There are also 32 Knox County Sheriff's Office employees in the schools. Remember, they are not being pulled from the schools. The school system also has 93 school security officers, or SSOs. Meanwhile, former Knox County Sheriff Tim Hutchison is weighing in on having officers in schools. He helped to get the first officers into Knox County Schools back in 1999. Today, he talked about why he said that need arose.
In 1997, 1998, we started seeing more and more problems from the schools, and that is, we were finding more drugs in the schools, and occasionally a gun and knives. And so, we just started batting around that, it'd be good if a police officer was there. I don't think they ever need to pull the police officers out of the schools. They're there to protect everyone there.
And tonight, Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs is addressing school security, calling the Knox County Sheriff's Office one of the best law enforcement agencies in the state. In a statement, the mayor writes, quote, in this year's proposed budget for the upcoming fiscal year, at the request of the community and Knox County Schools, my office is allocating more than $3 million to fund 50 new positions to address students' behavioral and mental health issues. To be clear, these positions are meant to supplement and support the schools, not to replace security, as I believe a law enforcement presence inside schools is an absolute necessity. We want to reassure families that we will work with the school system and the city of Knoxville to ensure a safe and secure learning environment for all Knox County students, end quote.